going on, Jerome? It's a beautiful Tuesday morning. Almost said Monday. Beautiful Tuesday morning. Sun is shining, birds are chirping and stuff, and it's time for another Vikings news dump. So every single offseason, you're just thinking this is the combination of free agents, trades, and draft picks that will get the Vikings over the hump. Oh my God. We're going to hoist the drum party for the first time 12 times in the next 10 years. And I'm kind of feeling it this year. Whether it's Kirko, Backo, and then the Vikings shove all their chips in and go all in with Kirk the next 1 or 2 years, or finding your quarterback of the future if Cousins walks. I'm actually really excited. No matter what happens these next couple weeks, I don't think that there's a situation where I'm going to be upset unless it's Kirk walks and then you give Baker like a 4-year deal and then don't draft a quarterback. Nah. Something also not getting some traction is the touchback rule when the offense fumbles through the opponent's end zone. And Judy Batista tweeted this out. Not much traction at the moment for a change on the fumble through the end zone rule when possession is awarded to the defense on a touchback. Competition committee discussed it today. Play happens rarely, and feeling it's the ball carrier's responsibility to protect the ball. And I've sort of gone back and forth because I think that fumbling through the end zone, it's overly punitive, just giving the ball to the other team at the 20. But also, I don't know what the correct solution would be, whether it be a 10-yard penalty or loss of down. You treat it like intentional grounding. I don't know, right? So I just do know that, hey, unless it's 4th and goal or if it's the last play of the half or the end of the game, hang on to the football. Don't extend it. And that's something that Belichick also always preach to his players. Don't extend the ball at the pylon because again, unless it's 4th down or if it's the last play of the game or the half, like the potential downside is so high because random things happen. You can lose grip on the ball. The defender could knock it out. And if it fumbles through the end zone, I mean, you lost possession. Whereas if you just tuck it, 2 hands, secure that thing, and they bring you down at the half-yard line, whatever. Again, absent 4th and goal and end of the game, you're going to have another shot at it, and you should be able to punch it in. So, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I think that it's an imperfect rule, but I don't have a better one at this moment in time, if that makes sense. Something that also makes sense is the NFL Combine is kicking off this week. Everyone's in Indianapolis, and agents certainly aren't talking to GMs. But yeah, there's a couple players who won't be throwing at the Combine, notably Penix and Daniels. But Williams and Daniels. But Penix and McCarthy reportedly will throw at the Combine. Same thing with Spencer Rattler. And I think it's huge for Penix because the fact that everyone's impression of him is the national title game against Michigan, where he got banged up and Dylan Johnson went down and he couldn't do anything with his great receivers. Like, he wants to put the haters to bed quickly. And throwing is going to give him a great shot. You've seen what has happened when guys throw at the Combine, especially like Anthony Richardson last year, CJ Stroud putting on a show, right? So I think that Penix has a chance to really change the narrative about him. Plus, medicals at the Combine are going to be really huge for him. But Kirko at the Combine, this is your king. This is what you want, huh? So 2012, back in the day, Kirko coming out of Michigan State-O, 4.9340, which is ass. Thank you. Really bad, a 10-yard split, really slow in the shuttle, average in 3-cone, vertical, 28.5. Wasn't Kirk Cousins like a high school basketball prodigy too in Holland, Michigan back in the day? Like, how can you do that being, where's his height? 6'2" and 5/8? And 28.5 vertical leap. Does he have wingspan? All right, so arms 31.75, so that's relatively small too. How did Kirk operate? Like, was he a Steve Kerr, John Paxson, Judd Bushler outside shooter? Was that what he was? I don't know, man. I don't know. But also 214. I think there were reports that Kirk played at about 190. So I don't know. Kirk doesn't strike me as a beer drinker, but maybe a little bit of Domino's in the college dorm rooms back in the day. That could make sense. And then Kirko got on the skim milk. I don't know. I don't know, man, but it's really interesting looking at the combine. We should just do a video where we go through combines of great Vikings players and just like look at Jerick McKinnon's. Jerick McKinnon was an absolute physical freak, man. And with Kirk, so here's exactly what the narrative is going to be. Kirk with the Vikings is that Kirk is an overpaid garbage time stat stuffing quarterback who will never win anything. Boo, boo, boo. Oh, look at Kirk's Monday Night Football record. Boo, boo. But the second that he signs with another team, the Falcons, the Steelers, the Broncos, whoever, Kirk Cousins will instantly make them Super Bowl contenders. You just watch. Like, if Kirk signs with the Falcons, I think it's a 2-horse race right now, the media will cream in their jeans being like, oh, I mean, with the Falcons now. So here's what frustrates me. All the reasons why they're listing off why Kirk Cousins would be successful in Atlanta. The weapons. You look at the offensive play caller Zach Robinson, who comes from the Sean McVay tree. You look at the great pair of tackles in Matthews and McGarry. McGarry's not even that good, but he got paid a lot. And also the fact that you play indoors, which is going to be conducive to Kirk Cousins, especially in his later years. All of those reasons are the exact same as the Vikings. And frankly, the Vikings have better weapons outside of Bijan, right? So I don't get it. Like, maybe, again, I feel like the media hates Kirk Cousins, but they hate the Vikings way more. And, yeah, last 6 years was just a purple storm of hate. It's ridiculous, man. Someone's also ridiculous. So Kirk Cousins posted on the gram beside the video of him dropping back. So Kirk shared this piece of wood art, and apparently it was given to him by former Vikings QB coach Andrew Janako. When life gives me quarters, I'm throwing the post. So quarters defense, 4 deep, throwing the post. Got a spot right in the middle of the field. Dave Casper goes to the post. It's good, man. It's good. Also, I always love, if you go to any flea market so say every small town in the area like has a town festival, right? And they'll always have these little flea markets where it'll be the mom and the pop in the Winnebago, and they'll just have all these tchotchkes out and they'll sell them. And it's great because none of this is officially NFL licensed, but like you'll see wood carvings of like the Vikings logo or the Bears logo and all that stuff, and it's kind of fun. But it's just like I like that the NFL doesn't crush them. Because, I mean, mom and pop's making a couple bucks for some gas money in their golden years, taking the kids to the ice cream shop. It's good, man. It's good. I want to completely decorate this office with tchotchkes that I find at random flea markets. It's good, man. Also, you get to haggle. I feel like the art of haggling has gone away where, they'll list something like this, like the Stabler thing for like $15, and then here's the trick. So have your kid. So have your kid. So I got Margaret and my little guy Rocco, and I'll just give them. So say that's listed for 15. Well, for ease of math, let's say $20. All right. So they list that thing for $20. Piece of wood etched. It's whatever. But give your kid 15, and say that, hey, she really wants to buy this with her allowance money. She really saved up. She's really proud of it. She really loves that thing. And then have Margaret pull out the dollars. Like, oh, I only have 15 though. I bet you they go for it. Even though dad's there's like, hey, can you supplement the $5? But haggling podcast coming soon. I feel like it would work. Something that didn't work was Rick Dennison as offensive line coach. I almost completely forgot about Rick Dennison, who came over with the Kubiak clan. And, I mean, Rick Dennison. Do you know that Rick Dennison was the special teams coach of the 98 Broncos? Special teams coach. So then he went from third phase to coaching O-line, and also he was Kubiak's rubber stamp OC in with the Texans, I believe. I don't know. But either way, Dennison came over, and Dennison was the bane of my existence for a while because his offense, I mean, I'm sure Rick Dennison is a good guy, but his offensive lines were just so ass, thank you. And what really sucks is that I feel like having loyalty to players is good to a degree, but when it's proven that the player can't get anything done, you have to give your other guys a shot. And also, if a starter goes out there and knows that he can play like ass and has zero goose egg D'Angelo Russell, a threat of being benched, you're not going to get the best out of him. And that's what frustrated me so much about the Vikings offensive line. So he was with the Vikings from 2019 to 2021. 2021, he was basically like a senior advisor because, but 2019, 2020, he was the O-line coach, and it was just a mess. And I don't know how Stefanski did it in 2019, but he got a competent offense going. But the offensive line then was Riley Reif. Then you got Pat Elflein in the mix. Dakota Dozier took over at left guard in 2020. And no matter how bad Elflein or Bradbury or Dozier or Drew Samia played, they weren't getting sat. It's frustrating, man. Yeah. And also, Drew Samia was in, and I had hope for Samia coming out of Oklahoma, but it was clear that he just didn't have it. And it took an injury to get Ezra Cleveland, who was actually competent at guard. But also Josh Klein was in there for a year. Whatever happened to Josh Klein? Yeah. But either way, highly regarded for his ability to develop offensive linemen. Well, hey, I'm glad that he's going to the Saints because I'm screw the Saints right in the face. Fade Kendra Miller the rest of the way. Somebody you shouldn't fade is Shane Gillis hosting SNL over the weekend. Now, Gillis, he's a hilarious comedian. Not gonna lie, he is my cup of tea. I find him very funny. I understand why some people don't, but Gillis. Oh, by the way, do you know Gillis played college football at Elan? You know who else played at Elan? Olisimaka Udo. It's funny. Gillis was an O lineman too. Yeah, they didn't have a crossover because Gillis is like mid-30s, but whatever. But Gillis hosted SNL. It was highly anticipated. I thought overall the show was very funny. A lot of critics didn't like it, but whatever, critics don't like anything. But one of the sketches, again, not going to get into the details of it because this is a family show, but go look it up. It's called They're Listening. And in it, Shane Gillis was a Packers fan named Brent. And there was some very specific Packers memorabilia involved in it. And I thought it was hilarious. Heidi Gardner didn't think it was too funny. I don't know, man. Also, what cocktail is that? It's like a Cosmo Fizz? I don't know, man. And then Shane's just drinking straight up Boone's Farm. Get out of here, man. But it's so funny is that Green Bay Packers fans are demanding SNL take down Shane Gillis, highly offensive and racist. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I feel like Packers fans are only offended because they got dragged in this one sketch, and it was really, really damn funny. Go watch it. Don't have kids in the room, but it's it's really funny, man. That's all, man. That's all. Something's also funny to me. So, a Big Cat over at Barstool, noted Bears jabroni. We don't see eye to eye. It's whatever. But first off, Big Cat's hilarious. Also, he makes some really good points from time to time. And he put this one out the other day. Just remember that a weird amount of people that professionally cover sports look down on regular fans and almost despise them. It's so bizarre. I don't think it's so bizarre. I feel like, all right, so there's a big section of sports writers that love the game. They love relaying stories. They love the connection with the fans, right? Because in a perfect world, the media is the conduit from the team, the players, the coaches, to the fans, right? They're the megaphone which relay information. I was there, man. But I feel like as of late, there's been a lot of people who get into the media for the attention and for the platform, and I feel like they don't even like the team that they cover. They don't even like the sport, really, and they certainly don't like the fans. So I feel like there is a lot of media people, both national and local, who look down upon fans. They think they're kind of stupid. They kind of like it when the teams are very poor and very poopy, and they sort of dance on the graves there just because they know it's going to piss off the reader base. And frankly, when things are bad for sports teams, I feel like ratings or clicks or whatever are actually better. I don't know what it is. So maybe that's why so many like talk shows just default negative, because they're like, oh, we gotta follow the trends, as opposed to, I don't know, making good content. Who knows, man? But I understand Big Cat here, and I fully agree and fully commiserate. So lastly, so Vikings head coach Kevin O'Connell and Kwesi Adofo-Mensah will be speaking to said local media jackals and national media jackals today at the NFL Combine. 11:30 Central Time, Kevin O'Connell will be at the Dish, and Central Time is the only time zone that matters. And then at noon, Kwesi will be there. Now, they're back to back. which is important because Kevin O'Connell and Kwesi value people's time, whereas Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes are completely spread out. One at like 10 a.m., the other at 4 p.m. No big deal. I'm not saying, I'm just saying. Not saying, I'm just saying. So there you go. But that's it. That is the Vikings news dump for this beautiful Tuesday. You guys are the best. You know what to do. Skull production value.